A Nazi swastika in a game instantly triggers something in somebody because it has a psychic wound associated with it.
Oh, for sure.
And an abuse put on presentation will have a psychic wound for people who have been abused.
1000%, yeah.
Yeah. So that did they do it for the right reasons is really the question.
Of course.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 192 of the Emergent Gamer Podcast. This is Felix Hergood, and I'm here with...
Trib Zero.
Yoshi.
Oh,
You realize
what do you say?
you pointed to a
Fucking-
box, and everyone has a different order of boxes.
Fuck it! Somebody say their name.
So we're live this week on Discord recording.
It's why we sound like garbage. Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Sound like we're live on Discord. It's cool.
I want to remind everyone that you can also find us on the OG Podcast Network. We are brought to you by them, through them, provided to the world on their wonderful podcasting platform. Check them out for sure.
OGPodcastNetwork.com.
Boom. How are you guys?
So what do we got going on this week, guys?
We got, me and Neo have been doing a lot of Destiny with Black Armory.
A lot of dang Destiny.
Really, really deep in there.
I'd be kicking that, huh?
Okay.
People have been talking. People I know at the job and whatnot, they all are like fucking around with it, playing with it.
Having a good time.
Continues to be in the best place that I think the game has been. There were some issues a little bit with how Black Armory was received. When I was hitting on it last week a little bit, Felix, with Grim on the show, I had spent, 4 hours with it. Like, it was the day that it came out, literally. So I didn't get, like, a chance to really see how they want you to exist in the game with the new content and what they had planned with the raid and the story going forward. And the community had some good things to say and had a lot of negative things to say about how that new content was rolled out to us, it being a new season of things. So we can get into some of the details later. But let's start with what you've been up to, Neo, because we missed you last week.
Oh, yeah. I've been playing a lot of dang games. Not just Destiny.
A lot of
dang games.
Different dang games.
Yeah. So I picked up Hyper Light Drifter.
Okay.
On Switch.
I don't know what that is.
It's an older game. It's an older Indian title. It's been on Steam for a while now, but I waited for it to like drop in price on Switch so I could pick that up. It's a cool game. It's a top-down like pixel game, and the mechanics are pretty much you swing in a sword, you got a little gun, and you can teleport around. The color palette is like a vibrant like blue and pinks, like a lot of really vibrant pixeled colors. It's really gorgeous game if you like pixel art. And the whole story so far, I'm like a third of the way into the game right now, because another game came out that took my attention. I'll get to that in a minute. And it's essentially like there's no text. Like the game doesn't tell you anything, but it tells you when you interact with like characters in the world, they interact with you via pictures. So they're telling a story via like almost like cave painting likes. Like it's telling you, they're telling you what's going on in the world via like murals and images, and it's kind of cool. And so far it's a lot of like surviving like rooms of enemies, and you're fighting your way through, you're teleporting around. The music is great. It's a real catchy chiptune-y kind of music. I'm having fun with it, so I'm gonna slow burn that one because of all the dang games I'm playing right now.
Yeah. Do you feel the need that you have to reach out and play these different kinds of games because of how much time you're putting in?
I've had my eye on Hyperlight for a long while, so like I do want to finish it like for like a couple of years now, like 2 years now, I want to say. But yeah, I want to get it. I mean, I want to finish these games obviously, but my problem is spreading myself too thin. And Destiny's no joke, man. Like you got to put like a lot of time into Destiny to keep up, to like keep your power up so you can enjoy all this content.
Yeah.
And like just getting yeah, the more time you put into Destiny, the more like chance you have of getting better rolls on guns, getting new guns. Like your odds go up of getting cool stuff the more you play Destiny. I think that's by design, obviously, right?
Because the more you can do, the more you have the ability to be involved in, for sure.
Right, exactly. I'll save our raid talk for when you hop in, because you're definitely more, articulate when it comes to like all that stuff. But I've also been playing Detroit Become Human,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's a game that I wanted to play when it came out, but it was like sandwiched between, I want to say, two big titles earlier this year, which kept me from getting it.
I forget what came out around it, but you're right about that. It wasn't like a priority to play for me, even though I definitely was interested. And I hit the demo too, because that came out on PS4 for a little bit, and that was really fun.
Played that demo too, and I'm like, yep, this is exactly what I expect from this game, and this is exactly what I want. So I've been playing it since I've last been on. I got myself a 4K TV.
Nice.
I want to put that out there.
Very cool.
Very happy. Just got it mounted on my wall like 2 days ago. Love it.
You can see Neo's mounting pictures if you join us in our Discord. Discord.theemergentgamer.com.
I should tweet it out too, and put that out there. But I still got some cable management to do. It's not pretty yet. It's not completely done. But I've been playing Detroit like in my living room with HDR on. I wanted to get the full. I don't have a Pro, so unfortunately it's not like the 4K.
Yeah.
But it is very good looking for a PS4 standard. Just saying, it's a great looking game, and it's everything I expected. It's a good narrative. They clearly have a story to tell, and it's a lot of analogies to like the civil rights movement and just like escaping slavery, and it tells multiple stories from different points of view of different androids. Essentially, it's about the whole game's just about android rights. Like that's pretty much in a nutshell. I want to say 60% through it. I was streaming it a little bit like a week or two ago. Family's been real busy, with the holidays and everything, so I haven't really had time to really have a stream schedule, which is unfortunate. But I want to finish. It is. But I want to finish it and possibly do like a nice write up on it, because it's a cool game. It's got a message, and I know it's a lot of people give it a lot of crap for being like too pandery or too in your face about it. And I think it seems like it's trying too hard.
That was the criticism. It was heavy-handed with the messaging a little bit. But sometimes that works.
Yeah, I mean, and and like I know it got a lot of crap for one of the early trailers, which depicted like domestic abuse. Two of the characters, there was the Kara, one of the androids you play as, is supposed to protect this kid, and it turned out the owner of the robot, the father, is an abuser, and you end up like playing this whole escape scene of this guy, and it's really intense. They really want you to feel like you're like tense in this situation, and they make it the way they like have all the button prompts and the way they frame every shot, it becomes like this crazy like scramble to escape. You feel almost powerless in a lot of the scenes, because you're not like a super android, you're not like a super powered person. You are almost like they're putting you in like a victim's position, and they make you feel that way.
Just a regular person for all intents and purposes, right?
For all intents, I mean, you're an android, but yes, for all intents and purposes, you're kind of like this new android who's like, oh god, I need to break my programming to save this little girl, and it becomes about that. What's up, Felix?
Yeah, somebody was saying, I can't remember if it was Diamond Jab or if it was just I read it somewhere or whatever, but somebody was saying that the game skirts the line of is it offering a genuine message, or is it fabricating the idea of a genuine message?
It's a good question.
In order to sell the game. I
think that's an amazing question. I want to finish the game first to see where, because like I think that'll be like the deciding factor. If the game wraps up in a way, and I know there's multiple endings, there's multiple ways the game can end up because of the style of game. Every chapter, when it ends, it shows you this large tree of all the choices you could make and how your characters can end up.
I think it was Diamond Jab who was saying it. Maybe I'm wrong. I think.
What was he saying about it?
He was saying something to the effect of he worries about. I think he was saying he worries about whether the message, whether he's actually going to be I guess we should talk to him at some point and ask him about it. But
yeah, because you're just like making up a quote that he may or may not have said.
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to quote him. Saying I was trying to get the gist of it.
Paraphrase it. Yeah.
I was trying to paraphrase it, and I understood what he meant. Yeah, I brought that up before GSM, so yeah, he was talking about it, and I guess maybe that's where I.
Yeah, I mean, well, there is a difference between, like, putting this behavior out on display and then putting it on display with meaningful commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully,
and not just doing it for like the shock value of it.
Exactly.
Like,
hopefully, your commentary
message,
is constructive in that way. That's what you'd hope. But
it's similar to the idea of the Nazi swastika in a game. It's like, are you putting it in the game because you're trying to convey something like that Nazis were bad, or are you putting it in the game because it's just a gratuitous thing? Because there's a whole, like, abuse in a game or a Nazi swastika in a game instantly triggers something in somebody because it has a psychic wound associated with it.
Oh, for sure.
And an abuse put on presentation will have a psychic wound for people who have been abused.
1000%,
right? Yeah. So that did they do it for the right reasons is really the question.
Of course. And there are a lot of moments like this in the game. Like you play 3 specific characters. One is an android who's a detective. He works for the company who creates androids, but he's been assigned to the police station. So you are actually you're trying to figure out why androids are becoming deviant, essentially, going against their programming. And then the third character is a robot. He's a android who is I want to say like a butler to a really rich artist who passes away. And then he becomes tossed aside, essentially like garbage. And he comes back going, no, I want to be. He comes back with the idea of saying, no, I want to be. I deserve rights. I don't deserve to be thrown away when someone's done with me. And it becomes, and then he has his own story. And so far, like the games are like converging in a way. They're converging all these characters in a way that's kind of interesting. I'm like I feel like I'm like almost at a climactic point of the game, which I should really probably hop back in and finish this, so I can make a firm okay, this game was just throwing a bunch of like civil rights stuff in the wind and seeing what stuck, or is it actually trying to have a message that is like kind of meaningful in a way that the creator intended.
Yeah,
almost.
I mean, I'll be curious to hear what you think when you're done.
Yeah. So, and then the next game I was playing was Smash Brothers, because that came out last weekend.
That came out Friday. Yeah, dude.
It did, and we were rushing to get our power level up for the raid this weekend, the new Scourge raid. And then on Friday, Smash Brothers came out, and I'm like, well, damn, I got to unlock some characters. So like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Trip. I was sitting when we were like waiting between like attempts at like different raid encounters. Yeah. I'm like sitting there with my Switch going like, okay, I'm just gonna try and get like a 1 stock round in, and I'm like playing Smash.
I mean, that's the beauty of the Switch. You could just do that shit.
I just pick it up and go. I bought the GameCube adapter for the Switch.
Just so everyone out there knows, you're not a real gamer unless you play Switch with a GameCube controller.
With a GameCube, obviously, but
people look down on you if you don't use this hardware.
I tried it with the other controllers. It's not bad, but
I'm at Felix's face right now.
Look, this is an original GameCube controller from 2000 whatever it came out.
This is because the pinnacle version of this game is considered to be the GameCube version. What was that, Melee?
Yeah, Melee. Yeah.
And people just love playing on that controller. I think there are
specific reasons.
There's measurable, like, that's the least amount of like input lag, I think, as well with character control, like things like that.
Sure.
Button layout is preferential to pulling off some attacks.
A lot of fighting game people in general would prefer wired controllers because of latency. But the reason why I like the GameCube controller the best is the button layout, and the way it's set up is almost perfectly designed for Smash Brothers. And I know this is like really weird to say, but I use a lot of C-stick attacks, which is important, and these buttons, by feel, I know what attacks I'm doing. So, and just the way the mushiness of like the triggers feel, it just I know my brain knows what to do, and it's not like the newer controllers, which is like kind of weird, but like at the same time, I've had 3 GameCube controllers in a drawer for years. So,
Are you doing this because you're trying to get a competitive edge over somebody?
there is a tournament I'm gonna be in probably at the end of the month on the Lunar Castaways channel. They're holding a nice tournament, so I'm trying to get my skills up. I'm trying to dust off the cobwebs so I can kick some ass. You know what I mean?
He's trying,
So
man.
you
Trying to.
you want to have a competitive edge over Iron.
Obviously, and the rest of the participants. But here's the thing, though. It's got all the game modes you're familiar with. It's got the classic mode. It's got just straight up Smash, like it's literally just Smash, and then you can bring in up to 8 people into a round, and it's crazy. It's chaotic as hell. And funny enough, because of now my 3 GameCube controllers, I now have 3 GameCube controllers, 2 Joy-Cons, the Pro controller, and the SNES controller that I have.
Oh my god!
So if I had a party over here, yo, we could just all smash it up.
A lot of
we
game.
just have a good old
game.
time.
I do want to say that it's really funny in the Discord seeing everyone ask everyone else if they want to smash.
You trying to smash?
Yeah, you
I
trying
know.
to smash?
My line.
I'm just like, oh, all right, dude. That's like we're connecting on all kinds of levels here.
That's
in
what I'm
the
saying.
Discord.
So let's hang on this for a second. So what came first? Because I have a feeling like referring to I want to smash in like a sexual innuendo.
It is. That's totally it.
I feel that started with a younger generation of people because I never heard it when I was growing up.
No,
Like, people never said that.
No.
So here's what I want. I wonder if
Not
that
when you would have been
grew out
smashing.
of. No, but here's the thing. I wonder if that actually grew out of playing Smash Brothers as kids.
No,
No,
100%
no.
not. Yes.
Definitely.
And then somebody just turned it sexual at one point.
No.
There's a full line to the sexual one. I'm not gonna say it on the podcast here because it's a little inappropriate. I can tell you after the show,
Okay.
or I'll tell you later. But no, it's definitely not Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers did not coin that.
I want to smash your butthole. Is that
You're honestly really close, but I will tell you later because
I wanna
it's
smash
really
your
inappropriate.
Any excuse to say butthole on the stream.
So, a few of the new things in Smash Brothers, they brought every character who has ever appeared in Smash Brothers into the game, as well as new characters. And I've only unlocked, I want to say, like 30, maybe 40 characters I have not counted.
What's the
because
total
roster
number?
Just keeps growing. It's around 66, I want to say.
Wow,
I'm probably
that's
wrong
a
on
lot.
that.
It's a lot for sure.
It's a lot. And they announced a season pass, which in the news we'll talk about because they announced the first character at the Game Awards. And it was a big shocker because Trip, you're never going to guess who it was. And let me just tell you,
I know.
You never saw it coming.
I know who it is, and I never saw it coming. And I see what you did there, and I appreciate it.
You never see it coming.
I appreciate it. Those are the lyrics
It's Joker.
to the
It's
song.
Joker, you guys.
Yeah.
It's from character from Persona is one of the first content, and which is crazy, Trip, because Persona is not even on the Nintendo consoles.
No, it's not.
It's not. And the cool thing about it is now that Joker, a Persona character, is now in a Nintendo property game, that also could mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised this year if we saw Persona 5 come to Switch, or Persona 4, or any of the Persona games.
Persona 4, from what I can, from playing it obviously, and from what I've seen graphically of it,
Yeah.
I don't think it should have a problem.
Persona 4 was on Vita.
Yeah,
So there's no reason.
4 could easily be on the Switch.
There's no
5,
reason why it can't.
I don't know if there's anything that that 5 needs that's a performance aspect of the PS4, but like if you can get Warframe to run on the Switch, if you can get Diablo 3 to run on the Switch, you can get a cell-shaded RPG to run.
The Switch
on
is
the
a
Switch.
magic machine, man.
Yeah.
It's a magical
I would
device.
play the fuck out of Persona on the go.
So 2 points I want to make about Smash before I move on here. First thing is the new they have this full single player mode that they've added called the World of Light. And it's this whole thing where they give you this top-down map and you're going from point to point and you're playing different special scenarios. And it's essentially like you unlock these spirits that buff your character in certain ways and you can mix and match them, kind of like an RPG. It's really interesting. And I'm in the middle of that. You can unlock characters that way. There's really tough boss fights and you're just plowing through and unlocking this map. It's entertaining, but more or less you're just moving from point to point, fighting Smash battles of different variety. You know what I mean? But the next point I want to make is the online play, which is getting a lot of flack
Oh, is
for
it?
the quality of it. Yeah, because it's the first game I played, and I played a game with Iron, and boy was it laggy as hell.
Mm.
The connection problems were like crazy. But I did play again online with a few people like 2 days ago, and it worked really well. And then there were just some points where the game just chugged, and the connection was just awful.
You
Um,
can't figure out what that's related to or anything?
Honestly, a lot of it on all the forums, I'm not the only one having these problems. Like this is definitely, I want to say, a Nintendo problem.
Hmm.
If I had to guess, and people are like posting on Reddit about like things you can do to mitigate the issue and things, but more or less like you're doing peer-to-peer games, so it relies on the connection of the person who's hosting the battle arena.
Yeah.
There are other complaints going on, like you can, because when you go to search for, like, if you want to do competitive matches online, you can set your parameters. Like, I want to do 1v1 only, no items. These levels are the ones I want. And then sometimes the game just ignores all those, and it just throws you into a
Shit.
whatever fight. Yeah, it like doesn't even matter that you do that because it's just
terrible.
It's people who are competitive about it, and there's a big competitive Smash scene, and they're not happy about it because the Wii U version had a for fun mode, and then they had a for glory mode, which was that split their just like casual game modes with their professional, like their hardcore game modes. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. I'm having a lot of fun with Smash. I do want to do like some Smash streams and like get a whole bunch of people on it and just have a good old time just smashing.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Just everyone smashing each other, you know.
Just smashing and broadcasting it to the internet.
And I think that's really all of the games that I've been playing right now. I put Red Dead on the back burner. That game is just way too time consuming. I need to take like a week off and play that game is what I need to do.
I love it, dude.
You know what I mean?
That's like my I'm going to sleep game. Either that or Stardew Valley, where I can just be by myself and be in a world.
I tried the online day one for Red Dead. I know you guys talked about this last week.
We did.
Yeah, because and I played with a friend of mine on another Discord, and the first thing I noticed was like, because we were doing like missions and stuff, the rewards were garbage. But I know that the Rockstar has already addressed this, so we're gonna see how that goes. But the moment I saw the prices of things and what you were getting for doing things, I was like, wow, I'm sorry, man, I'm out. I can't just grind, because someone did the math, and it was like if you wanted to get like a new, like the Mauser gun or whatever that gun is, you would have to grind 80 hours of doing specific missions just to get enough to like unlock this gun. And I'm like, that doesn't seem like a fun time for me. Like,
no,
so
it wasn't fun. Wasn't fun for me, and I also had lots of connectivity issues, so I was just like, okay,
which isn't good. Totally not. Well, that's what I've been up to, and then Destiny, obviously, but I was gonna allow Trip to take that one because you're the Destiny guy.
Stuff. Felix, what have you been getting into? How was your week?
Well, this week started a new week of streaming a new game for the entire week. You know what I'm doing now is I'm streaming one game
at a time.
Week. One game or one game company, you know. So this last week was a Fallout 76 week, or a Bethesda week. I mean, I think one day I got bored of Fallout 76, so I said tomorrow I'm just going to do Elder Scrolls Online. So I did one day that was like Elder Scrolls.
Got it.
Which that game just keeps getting better and better and better, man. I just fucking love it.
I'm glad that you are, man, especially now that you're investing in it directly.
It's the power of MMOs, man.
I was expecting you to be like, that game is just fucking fell off the cliff, and I was like, oh no, your craft bag. But you were like, no, it's getting better and better. And I'm like, all right, dude.
No. Like, I have like an app now called the Elder Scroll, the ESO app, and like I can find where shit is like in the world, you know, like collectibles and whatnot.
Yeah, totally.
So now I'm doing that. Like, I play it very similarly to a single player game, which is funny because most people are in there trying to grind it MMO style.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting to max level, getting the gear.
Yeah,
right.
And I'm still grinding. Like, I come in every day and I do my MMO stuff where I have to, like, you know, craft with 2 characters and like to get the extra rewards for whatever. But like, you know, but I'm still like doing story missions and talking to each one of the characters and like getting my quests and like going through it just like I would in Assassin's Creed. So it's like,
You're doing it right, man. I think you're doing it right.
yeah,
I
I'm
would
having
agree.
a good time.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time with it.
Because
I'm
I
soaking
hate
in
when
the
I have
lore
to
of the
rush
world.
through MMOs. It's like it almost ruins the experience because
No,
like
I won't
yeah.
have it, man. And what's
Mm.
really great is when I come now that I know all the mechanics really well, I can come right back into it whenever I want. And it's not like I have to like remember how to do things or whatever. I could just pick up where I left off, which is really cool. Fallout 76 was once again another really enjoyable week of playing the game with very minimal problems. Like I said, I'm not discounting because I didn't want you to have the impression, Trip Zero, that I'm discounting people who had problems. You need to be clear that if somebody had problems with the game and they could never get it started,
Mm-hmm.
then I 100% agree that they should hate on the game. The problem is I think in the media flurry around the game, people are fabricating problems. I think they're just outright fabricating them. They're embellishing on shit that's minor, and they're outright fabricating.
Wait,
shit.
I'm sorry. Which you're talking about ESO still?
No, I'm talking about Fallout 76.
Are you claiming people are just making up their problems with this game?
I think people in the media who have almost like a influencer level of like respect or whatever are fabricating shit. I think they're making things up.
Are you talking about just like YouTubers or like journalistic?
I think no, I do not, because they can't, because they have scrutiny on them. I'm not talking about journalists. Journalists.
You're talking about like YouTubers.
Yeah,
and those
because I've read journalist articles regarding the game, and I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about in post the journalists who are legitimate, people writing articles about the game. I think average people who have voice boxes to bitch on are micro analyzing aspects of this game, and they're doing it inaccurately. Like
the problem is I've watched a lot of these YouTubers I'm not gonna like Yang Ye and those guys. Like
I don't know anyone off the top of my
yeah,
head.
but they'll point out problems, but as I've played the game, and I can tell you that if someone told me, like for example, today they dropped a patch this week and they added ultra widescreen support, and I can tell you right now, someone already figured out that it's not actual widescreen support. They're just stretching it. They're just stretching the resolution.
Yeah,
it's not right. And issues like that, like I don't know how you can make that up when it's like you can look in the INI files on PC and like see it.
I'm not asking anyone to they're not making it up. It's fucking real. But I'm asking people why they need to worry about that.
Because
that's the
because
point.
in the year of our Lord 2018, games should not be releasing for $60 at this kind of quality. Like for serious, like the amount of problems that this game has had since launch, and I'm not even talking about like the Baggate. I'm not talking about all the other PR stuff surrounding it. I'm talking about the game itself that is supposed to be a functioning co-op multiplayer game. And last week, Felix, you told me, why do people want to play this with PvP in mind? Like, how could they even do that? But the PvP is completely broken.
It's like, not a PvP game.
But then they advertise that kind of gameplay.
They didn't. I told you, I went back to his exact quote. People were driving at it needing to be PvP, and we're building that narrative themselves.
But a feature of the game doesn't even function. Right. Go on, Trip. I'm sorry. I see you got your finger. What's up?
Doing the finger wave. Well, this wasn't the point I was going to make, but to your last point, yes, regardless of what they intend the game to be, if you have a feature in the game and it doesn't work at all, that's a problem. And I know you're having a great time with this game, Felix, and that's great. I'm not here to shit on your great time.
Yeah, I don't want. I'm not trying to shit on you at all.
Shitting on my good time.
I think that as someone who does not play this game, but someone who has tried with the Fallout series, again, I know we've rehashed this, but I love 3. Can't get enough of 3.
3's great.
Can't play 4 for some reason. I just stop. I stop at Diamond City, almost exactly at Diamond City every time. I'm like, I get in, I look around, I'm like, all right, cool. I'll come back tomorrow.
Nope.
I go outside. I play something else. I never come back. Not the point. I love Skyrim. Again, not the point. Bethesda, the way they're handling this entire game, which is a new kind of game for them. This is a game as a service game. You could put this into the same category as Destiny, as The Division, as Anthem that's going to be coming out in February. It's a live game. That's the title. They want this game to live on, and people have shared experiences, and they're going to support it in the future through patches and content. There was Baggate, sure, which is terrible.
I agree with that.
There was the way that they opened up all of their internal ticket support to people that were putting in tickets, so that they got everyone else's personal information. Like
that happened after you guys recorded last week, right?
I don't know if you heard about this, Felix, but if people were putting in,
right. So I didn't look closely at that. I didn't look closely at. That sounds like it could be one of two things. They fucked up, or
that's not a question.
That is definitely
that's
nothing
not
negotiable
about that. Yeah.
Or there was a hole because they fucked up and somebody was looking for it.
No. Customers would go to submit a ticket, and the customer would get emailed other customers' information.
A customer was literally getting ticket emails and responses in their inbox.
As if they were an employee for Bethesda.
Didn't analyze it closer, don't know enough about it.
But
that was the whole thing.
I'm not going to go in depth in that story
You
either.
don't have to, because that sounds like...
that is a Bethesda, the company problem.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's a security breach.
But here's more. Here's another thing. The way that they have been updating this game has impacted players' experiences negatively. I
read a lot of those, and I didn't agree with that.
They stealth nerfed a lot of things in the game people were enjoying. I just read one.
I know. I read about the whole. I have never even heard the term stealth nerf.
All that means is that these were changes they made in a patch without disclosing them in patch notes. Right. And so people were mining different changes in the game and then writing their own patch notes on Reddit saying, like, look, these are things that have been changed. And then they were, and like the Bethesda did not disclose, and they were things to artificially, make the grind of gathering materials longer. It was things like that. Yeah, go on.
Here's my ultimate point to this whole thing. We're not here to get into the minutia of what was changed, what wasn't changed.
No, we have other things to talk about.
But my point is, regardless of your love for this game and your experience in this game, I don't know how you can look at this and say, I think Bethesda is handling this wonderfully. Because I think that they're not.
I'm not saying
and I think that's the conversation that we need to be having. How are they, how well or poorly they're handling this? What are they going to do about it in the future? Is this game going to survive? That's the conversation, because some people having fun or not having fun is going to happen regardless of if the game is falling apart or not. I was playing No Man's Sky original release, having a fuck ton of fun. That game should not have been shipped the way that it was.
No.
Right?
For sure not.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Like, we need to talk about what they're going to do with this game, not the fun you're having with the game, which is great.
We're having different conversations.
Right.
I think for the most part,
I'm just having a completely subjective. This is my fun. You're trying to approach it objectively and say, well, there's a bunch of shit here.
I think it's part of our job. I think we need to. We need to know what this game is going to be like. It was a cool concept, and I do like following it.
Part of the problem is that this has been a sentiment that's been echoed a lot, is that this game should not have come out this soon, or if they were to release it now, call it an early access or an early release.
Sure.
Because in the state that it is currently in, even after this week's patch, is still barely playable. In certain senses of the word, being like,
because you got
bugging enemies and. Yeah, I mean, it's playable. I played it for like 30 hours or whatever.
Yeah,
I was having a good time.
That hyperbole is the internet's favorite. Barely playable gets a wide berth in terms of its definition.
When there are enemies that are just glitching out, going into T-pose, I can't get out of my power armor. Let's back up.
That I 100% agree with.
And these are all
your inability to play the game. That's
to me the power armor issue was game breaking. Because I can no longer get out of my power armor and craft anything, which is the whole purpose of the game, is to be able to craft things. And
I align with you 100% on that.
It was just broken.
If that had happened to me, that would be a huge problem.
So after that happened to me, I was just like, no, there's so many other good games that I'm trying to play right now. I don't want to be futzing around with this game. And
that's the sad part, because people's like window of giving a game a chance is so small. Like, I mean, the stereotype is you get one chance to make a first impression, and that applies to video games as well. Like,
For
people
sure.
aren't going to come back. Look at what happens with Destiny. Destiny is, again, you know, fanboy, but it's almost inarguably in a way better place than it was years ago. Right, the game is in the best shape that it's been.
So many people from that first
right, and those
year.
people are never going to come back because of how they felt about how the game was developed, how the game treated players, and how they felt treated by the company. They'll never come back.
I mean, we know people who have been like, well, I don't feel like continuing to give Destiny my money because I don't feel like I've gotten the value from my initial purchase. So why should I keep trusting them in that case? So, and I'm like, well, you know what? I don't blame you for sure. Only honest to God though, the only reason why I'm like still like hardcore playing it is because there's so many of us playing it, and for me, that's like where I get a lot of my enjoyment out of it, is playing with groups of people and like being social with it. And to me that's a lot of fun, and you know what, it's good shooting. It's a good shooting game.
I'll move us on. Transition forward. Let's talk about this week.
Okay.
That was last week.
That was last week's stuff.
So
Okay.
I'll be real quick. This week is my Battlefield 5 week.
Okay.
I have not played a single lick of the actual multiplayer. All that I've played are the war stories, because initially I just used those as like practice to get a feel for the gameplay, and
Sure.
and they do that. They send you through a barrage of different mechanics that are built into the game. Some vehicle driving, some, you know, grenade throwing, some whatever.
Whatever, dude.
And then they also do some secret mechanics that they don't tell you are going to be in the game, and actually are nowhere near the multiplayer, and are completely a refreshing surprise.
Like what?
Go on.
Like skiing.
Skiing.
Yes, cross-country skiing and skiing downhill and throwing a throwing knife at a guy while you're skiing.
That's cool.
Super entertaining. Why is this not in the multiplayer?
Battlefield
No one's
5
talking
skiing
about-
simulator.
Okay. For a second, I thought you were like angry.
No,
Or you were being very sarcastic.
It's the most refreshing feature. I get to downhill ski in the Norway like mission campaign thing that you do. The war story for Norway.
Uh-huh.
You start off, and it says hit up on the D-pad to bring out your skis. And I went, what the fuck, my skis? And then I'm skiing downhill, and I'm shooting guns while I'm skiing. It's so amazing. I
Yep.
so much.
Haven't heard that
that's
about
pretty
this
cool.
game.
Yes,
that
Battlefield
I have
5.
not heard that.
Yeah, right. No, because no one's playing the war stories. Only me. Yeah, they have this mechanic where, because you're a person in Norway who's like a resistance fighter or whatever, you get around using your skis, and you just hit the up on the D-pad, and your skis come out, and you're doing it. And when you're not on a hill, you're cross-country skiing, you know. And then when you're going down a hill, you just start skiing. I tried
crazy.
so I started experimenting with it. You could pull the skis out wherever. I was on a roof. I pulled out the skis. I skied off the roof. I
was on the roof.
of-
I pulled out the skis.
I was at the top of a tower. I had just killed a guy, and I sniped a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
I needed to get down off the tower. There was a staircase going down the tower.
Did you pull out
I
the
rode
skis?
I pulled out the skis, and I skied down the stairs.
Oh my god, dude.
I
That's
skied on
amazing.
gravel. I skied on roads. I skied like all over the place.
You're skiing it
This
up,
is
dude.
like the last thing I would have expected from a Battlefield game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
It's first person skiing, and it's visceral. I love it. So that was great. And then didn't know that mechanic was there. Okay, so that's on one end. The
Mhm.
polar opposite end is when you climb to the top of a ladder, there's no button to get down. Your only option is to fall off the ladder.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I don't have a prompt or a button or anything that says climb down, and I still haven't figured out how to do it. If anyone in the chat knows how to climb down a ladder in Battlefield 5, let me know, because I can't figure it out.
This mystery may never be solved.
This will be vital in multiplayer if I want to, because the only way I've climbed some really tall towers, and the only way I've been able to get off is jump and nearly die every time.
Yeah, there's got to be a better way.
I can't.
There's got to be a better way.
You know how in games when you walk up to a ladder,
Have you Googled it?
No, I didn't look. We'll do that.
How do I get off of a ladder? How do I get down a ladder? Battlefield 5.
I couldn't do it.
Just put that
Sometimes
in. Right in the
I was
browser.
expecting something a little bit more sensible, like walk to the ladder and your character will go into an animation. I walked to the ladder and walked right off the tower.
Whoopsie.
I was like,
have you tried
Skis can't
crouch
save you
walking
there.
towards the ladder?
I crouched walked toward the ladder.
Okay.
I did that next.
Okay.
Fell off the tower again.
You're iterating
Yeah,
properly at least.
Yeah, I'm trying all these different things. Skiing plus perks to skiing, but yeah, climbing down ladders not so much.
Damn.
But the shooting feels good. I haven't put it into play in the real competition when you're playing against other people. But I intend to play by the end of the week. I'm going to be playing Grand Operations to explore that and try it out.
Yeah, the only things I've been hearing are like the quality of the multiplayer and like.
Is it good?
And that such. From what I understand, there's a lot of like network issues.
Probably.
I've heard things like that. A lot of the multiplayer parts aren't even released yet. Apparently.
Oh.
They're releasing in chunks.
Well, I definitely know they're supposed to have a battle royale. That's not.
That's sometime early next year, I think. It's like first quarter.
Well, all the
sometime.
content came out for free, so that's what we fucking get, right?
There you go.
I'll take
Can't
skis,
complain.
dude. I'll take skis
It's
for free.
You don't have to pay for an
season pass, yeah.
extra season pass. So this is what we get. They'll bring it out whenever they fucking feel like dripping that shit to us.
Hell yeah.
That's fine. I'm good with that.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice, dude.
I don't know. Like I'll finish the war stories probably this week, but I don't know if I. First off, there's only 4 now. There isn't 6. There were 6 in the last game. So that's dwindling away. I don't know. Maybe they're going to release more of them, but probably not because they're single player, right?
Yeah.
That's not their bread and butter. Everything from now on out, expansion wise, is just going to be like different theaters of World War II. We might get some American Japanese stuff at some point. The game, like what's his name was saying, all of the vignettes, the war stories currently focus in on German, British, and Norwegian like people.
No French.
Oh, in French. Yeah, I haven't played that one yet. There's a French
cool.
one as well. But the cool thing is on the war stories, one of them you play as the Germans. You're in a tank commander, Tiger tank commander.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Cool.
Yeah, and the French one I'm not really sure of because I haven't played yet. And then the one you start on, you play a British guy who got conscripted from, and I didn't even know this was a thing in World War II. So the Brits were conscripting from prisons. They were making whole platoons from prison.
Oh,
prisoners.
wow.
So you learn a little bit about that, like that this main character guy that you play, Private Brigger or whatever, he is Bridger. Sorry, I pronounced it wrong. He's a criminal. He's a petty thief robbing banks. He gets caught, and then his option is to go to prison or go into the military.
Fight in the war.
Take the black.
War. So he takes that, and that you follow along. His little vignette is just his experience in the Africa campaign. So you get to play that first, and then you play the Norway. You get to choose. They're not in any order. Then you do the Norway. I'm just doing them left to right. So, but
Very nice.
that's
Nice.
it. That's
Nice,
what
dude.
I've been doing.
Very cool.
That's my gameplay experience.
That's the gameplay.
Trip, what's up?
You know what's up, man. Black
Oh,
Armory.
I know what's up.
Black Armory. Destiny 2's first season of their season of content. So Forsaken
Lay it
came
on
out.
us.
Forsaken came out in September. That was the major game-changing expansion. And instead of having expansion 1 in the winter, expansion 2 in the spring, and whatever else is going to happen, they've aligned everything to seasons, to 3-month seasons. And you now pay for a season pass, which is $30, and you get essentially like these little nuggets of content, little chunks. Honestly, the way that Black Armory is panning out, I think is more than worth what would come down to $10. right? The story of Black Armory is that there have been these secret forges that exist all over these planets with a secret alliance called the Black Armory that Guardians don't know about. And what you do is you have to find these forges and ignite them. And they are time gated. So week 1, we get one forge. Week 2, we got another forge. There's a new raid that came out with this as well.
Wait, question.
Yeah.
The other forges are locked now?
They are, yeah. So we have 2.
So we do have 2.
We have 2.
So can I go back to the first one?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like they rotated like the Dreaming City.
No. They're,
okay.
Once they're like open to players, you can go to whatever forge that you want to go to.
Cool.
And there's the raid, and there's new weapons that come along with this, new armor sets, all that kind of stuff. Some of the controversy that happened as soon as this was released was that the power level, and Felix, you'll remember me talking about this, the power level of what we were up against on day 1 was pretty high compared to everyone's maximum level. If you were playing the game consistently, there was a good chance you were at power level 600, which is the highest level in the game. This content came out, and as soon as you had to hit a forge, the forge was a 3-wave activity. Wave 1's power was 615. Wave 2's power was 625, and I think Wave 3's was 630. Those might have been the original power levels that they then bumped down because it was too hard for players. It was something they were able to change on the server pretty quickly, adjusting to feedback. And I get it. I really do. The majority of players, and imagine if you weren't even level 600, you can't play this at 600, and there are players that are playing casually that are still deep in the 500s, right?
I think the idea is that you're playing and you're going to naturally get your power increase as you play to then be strong enough to fight in the thing.
Yep.
And you know what? We had no problem doing it day 1 and 2. Like even I want to say before they decreased the power level, it didn't seem that bad.
It was like something we knew we were going to have to work towards, and then we were able to light it on day 2, essentially. But again, we have the benefit of our Discord, our community, people that can play together. I think a lot of players felt, especially being a solo player, if you are playing Destiny without a large group that can hop in at a moment's notice and help unlock these things, that you're up against like such a high power climb, and you can't enjoy the new content without iterating through all the old stuff. Like the biggest negative piece of feedback that I heard was, oh, it's cool that Black Armory is out, but I still have to play all of the old ways to get power before I can even touch this stuff. Because nothing happens until you unlock the Black Armory. The new vendors' bounties and weapons don't unlock. Felix, there are new bounties essentially to get specific weapons from different loot pools. Say there's a gun that only drops from Crucible you really like, right? Or you want like a gun from doing Vanguard strikes. You can pick those bounties up, and they're called weapon frames that you then go on a little mini quest to fulfill, and then you forge them. You do this activity, and they're forged. What that does is it gives you a random roll of that weapon. So if you're chasing something specific, it's a really good way to grind that, which is a great opportunity. If there's a player that just wants to play Crucible, they're like, oh, I wish I had this pulse rifle, they could just play it to get that pulse rifle, and then they'll be good.
Yeah.
They can do that in the PvE world without even having to touch PvP. Like they can work towards their peak goal of competitive while doing whatever they want in the game. It's a great idea, honestly.
Yeah.
But it takes a while to get into that groove because you have to get your power up, which was the biggest criticism of the way they're introducing this content. I think long term, it's going to be great. Players are going to appreciate the freedom that they have to not only gain power, but again, like I said, grind for specific roles and gear that they want. But obviously they're trying new things. This was the first week of a new kind of content delivery system, and it rubbed some people the wrong way, which I understand. You know,
did it rub you the wrong way?
It didn't. But again,
didn't rub me the wrong way either. I honestly was fine with it. Yeah, and I'm the critical one of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys forget that I'm interested in the subjectivity of your experience versus the objectivity. I know.
Oh,
I know we have to step up.
Yeah.
We have to step up and be objective from time to time, but your subjectivity is
No, it's great. I just don't take for granted the fact that I have just a boatload of people. I can be like, yo, who wants to do this? And I'll have a fire team full in a couple minutes. You know? Not everyone has that privilege. because that's what it is. It's a privilege of Destiny to be able to play this stuff. There are people that haven't even done Destiny 1 raids, let alone like the previous Last Wish raid, not even the one that came out Friday.
Right.
Like they haven't touched that content because they don't have people that they can play with.
Yeah.
Now, luckily we do, and that enabled
This game's
us.
a fucking hobby, though. Remember,
It's a
You gotta
hobby
make
now.
a
That's
hobby.
It
for
is
sure.
definitely a hobby.
Yeah. And one of the cool things that we were able to do was get into the raid on day 1 and play that content blind.
You blinded that shit.
We did. We blind raided for as long as we
glad I
possibly
wasn't
could
with
till
you.
everyone had to go to bed. We got to the final like room. It wasn't as large of a raid as the previous one. It's more on the size of what they call a raid layer. You know, like what you would maybe consider a section or two of a normal size raid. And what they've done with raid layers in Destiny 2, the boss rooms had 2 phases to them. You would do something to unlock the actual final boss, but in that method, they're 2 separate encounters, and that first encounter has mechanics that get added into the final one. All these raids are just teaching you how to get through this content and how to play this stuff. So we made it to that room. We made it to the final boss room on day 1, which was still super cool. And we were all, like, it was playable, but we were all underpowered so that it was brutal fighting these enemies and these ads in these environments, which of course adds to time figuring things out because people are dying. We're getting hit left and right. We're trying to figure out not only how to get through the mechanic of the encounters, but how to do it as flawlessly as possible. Because if we take hits, like at our power levels, we're going to get like one shot by like a little drag running around, you know, just a little red bar guy. So it adds this real intense excitement to playing this content. You know me, I love puzzles. I love figuring out that aspect of things. But there's like a high level of engagement that people can find by playing this stuff under leveled as well.
Yeah, I'm getting anxiety just thinking about it.
It took a long time, Felix. Let me tell you, we were in there for
fun.
hours.
It's fun.
I would have hated the whole experience. But that's
we-
okay. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it and had a good time.
We alleviated some of the pressure by having an amazing conversation about American and British biscuits and cookies and scones and the definitions of all of those. I'm actually going to be putting that out on YouTube. Everyone can watch that clip. It's pretty great.
You know, biscuits are biscuits over here are what? They're
They're cookies, right?
What would you call a biscuit, Felix?
biscuits. Our biscuits are not their biscuits. Their biscuits are
It's
cookies.
very true.
Yeah, but I learned that from a grime rapper, probably about 10 years ago.
Mhm.
What was her name? Her name was Lady something.
Are you
Lady
serious?
Grime?
Lady who sings about biscuits.
No, she just has she's rapping in one of her lines. She says, you call it a cookie or something. I call it a biscuit. That's what she says. And this is the first time I ever heard it. And I was just like, what? They call cookies biscuits? Holy shit, I didn't know this.
It's a big cultural difference. But playing that raid with all the dudes was very, very fun. It was fun to be able to get in there and compete. And we had a set schedule in mind to finish it, and that had to change. There were some scheduling things that weren't taken into consideration, so we did have to split the group up and try to complete as much as possible on individual groups. Me and 2 other people were able to actually finish it within the first reset, which was a pretty big accomplishment. I tried to come back around and get get Neo. Neo and Diamond.
You tried so hard, man.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. I really do.
I didn't want to leave anyone
you're a good
behind,
boy.
man. But
You're a good boy.
the people that we pulled in, while having really good heads on their shoulders, like awareness and gameplay wise, it was just the power level was too low as the group.
There was 1 or 2 guys that were dragging, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
It was silly, but what I appreciated about them was how they like described all the nuances and how things could go wrong, like all the little details. Like that's something that I'm like, all right, cool. You're not just here to dick around. You're trying to be aware of.
You're actually trying to you know what you're doing as well, and that's okay by me then.
So
That's why I didn't mind it so much.
Yeah. So what that means, Felix, is I got a jacket, dude. I got a raid jacket. I got a personalized little trophy jacket that I can wear with my name on the side.
Oh, you got the jacket.
I got the jacket this time. Yeah.
You got the jacket.
Oh, okay, good. We're gonna call this episode "Did Get the Jacket."
You can't say it on the show, then it just makes it not the title.
No, 'cause we had an episode called "Didn't Get the Jacket."
Oh.
It's true. It's
Wow.
true.
I forgot that
Did
was.
Get the Jacket.
Yeah. actually got the jacket. But yeah, but now we're in week 2, and it's the dawning. It's the holiday festival. You literally are baking cookies, and you're baking holiday events for characters in the tower by collecting ingredients from enemies out in the wild. Like,
oh my god,
you get ether canes from Fallen. You get Cabal oil from the Cabal. If you kill enemies with like a flame attack, you get like a solar burn. You can mix it all together.
I retweeted a really funny comic today that someone put out, and it was a picture of a Destiny Guardian next to a Cabal without his armor, just like a bare Cabal. Yeah. And you watch the Destiny Guardian take a little knife and like peel it along this chest, and it's like all the sweat and like goo coming off. Puts it on a cookie, and then it's labeled Cabal oil, and then he gives it to somebody.
Oh my god.
But, it was pretty great.
But yeah, this is more content. It's already the second week of this stuff. The Dawning is available to everyone that owns Destiny 2, not even Forsaken. You can just have Destiny 2 and you're playing the holiday events. So, I mean, they're just reiterating that they're committed to having things to do all the time.
Let me tell you, there's no lack of engagement in this game. There is
not
always something going on, and I honestly, that's impressive. And even with like the Dreaming Cities 3-week thing, like that keeps the game like pretty interesting.
The rotation
no matter what
of that curse. Yeah,
like
so
how many?
I'm doing my milestones today for powerful gear because it's I wasn't able to play yesterday. Today was my first day starting to grind for this week, and I'm just like, not only am I playing the Crucible matches and the strikes, but I'm thinking about getting certain kills because I'm like, I gotta get this thing for my cookie recipe. Like there's like just so much multitasking going on in my brain playing this stuff. What were you gonna say, Felix? You had a question, I think.
Well, I was gonna say, so how many years has Destiny been out? What, 2014?
September 2014 was launch. Yeah.
Yeah, 2014. So 4 years. So I basically have to watch Bethesda crash and burn. They get fucking trashed in the media. They learn their lesson, and 4 years from now, I'm gonna be getting holiday cookie recipes, and we have to find in the fucking wasteland.
It'll be in Fallout 77 is when you're gonna get the revamped game. That's what it'll be.
Fallout 77 will come out. It'll look great. And
yeah,
I'll be searching for
fixing
my holiday
all
recipes.
the problems. Yep. Yeah. Everyone's gonna get 2 canvas bags instead of 1.
Oh, 2 canvas bags!
Everybody who played Fallout 76.
Everybody gets a canvas bag.
You get a bag. You get a bag.
A free canvas bag.
Oh my god, it's so good. All right, well that was us. That was the boys in the show.
Shall we talk news?
Talk it, yeah.
Was it news, or did we want to go to the results of the Game Awards?
We are. We're going to talk about that right now.
Cool.
So the winners of the Game Awards. Do you want me to start with Game of the Year, or do you want me to? I'm going to skip a lot of this because I don't think we care about.
Did you hear us talk about that on the show last week? We're like, we're going to give all of these people their due diligence, but then we're like, I don't know any of these people.
Yesterday,
yeah, like best esports game. Well, not like player and team and coach, like those
look,
ones.
Not to diminish what they do.
No, we just
absolutely
not.
We just had no familiarity with those circles.
Right, but last week I didn't give a shit about competitive esport gaming, and this week I still don't.
You mean to tell me nothing changed in the past week for you?
Yeah. No. Although the one I will start with is the best esports player went to Dominic Sonic Fox McLean. McLean?
Who is that?
So I do actually. I heard about him over the summer at Evo. Or not over the summer. This is a few months ago, honestly. He took the gold, or whatever you would call it, for Dragon Ball Fighters, the game. Okay. And he had this, and it was you have to look up the fight. It was this epic fight. He was going to lose, and he called for a timeout and a side switch. So he called for a side switch because he knew he would have a better advantage on starting on the other side of the fighting field, which is beyond me. Like, that is like knowing yourself and the game so well that you know that you can do. Anyway, crazy thing happened, and he ended up winning. He got up on stage and he had this really nice speech. So I should preface. He is a furry, and it's part of his character. So Sonic Fox is like his persona. He came up on stage wearing.
Did you say persona?
It's his persona. Yeah, he has a furry persona.
I think
Sonic
we need
Fox.
to just make sure that we give this community the proper nomenclature. They call them fursonas.
Oh, shut up! Really? Are you fucking with me, or is this like? Okay.
No.
Well,
and I know this because I follow a lot of artists on Instagram or on Twitter as well. A lot of like artists that do like work on Twitch
For furries,
as they like draw and stuff, and like they do commissions for people that want to make their fursona. So like the people that are artists aren't necessarily like furries themselves, but they'll be doing a commission for like someone's profile picture or someone's like art campaign where this is them as a furry animal. So just some
is there
knowledge for you all right there.
Hold on. Is there a type of furry that's non-sexual?
That I don't know. I don't know.
That's beyond me.
I'm saying, are you referring to this guy's a self-proclaimed furry, but like in the sexual sense?
I don't know if there's a separation between the two.
I don't know. I think it's like that is your preference. Like you like I look, I'm not trying to judge. I'm not trying to make assumptions.
I have no
I am not educated in that lifestyle in the slightest. And but I will tell you what he did do on stage, which was he was wearing his feet, he had a tail on, and he had his big helmet, his mask on. He went up on stage in full costume. He was very giddy, he was very excited to win. And he even said in his speech, he said, look, I'm gay, I'm a furry, I'm black, everything Republicans hate. And then he was like, but thank you for that. Like it was like a really funny
That's pretty
speech
good.
that he told. And he got like choked up, and he talked about like how he wanted the winnings from the Evo tournament he gave to his friend's father for cancer, for cancer treatment. Yeah, it was like a really nice thing. So I did want to highlight him as the winning esport player.
Nice. That's awesome. That's very cool.
So I'm just going to go up the list here. The winning for best esports game, can you guess? It was what it was?
Fortnite.
It was not. It was Overwatch.
Oh shit!
Wow. That's what I think I had said that in my prediction.
Yeah, that's a surprise. I think it's because Fortnite's going to be winning a bunch of other things.
And I don't know. Did you listen last week, Neo? I don't think Fortnite is a good esport game.
Oh no, definitely not a good esport game.
It's good. It's fun to watch in like a tournament.
PUBG is not a good esport game either. No, it's hell no.
There's too much randomization and factors you can't control to be good at a game.
The only reason why I guess it would be considered esports is because it's the most popular game in the world right now, and it's electronic. So there you go.
There it is.
The next thing, best debut debut indie game.
Let's get the debut indie games out here.
Debut indie game.
What won that?
The Messenger, which is actually a pretty cool looking game. Did you play it? I haven't. I've seen a lot of footage of it, and it's an 8-bit game, kind of like Ninja Gaiden. Like it looks like classic Ninja Gaiden. And then at some point in the game, it does a little twist, and the game turns 16-bit and adds a whole bunch of new mechanics. It's a very cool little gem. It's something I'll play probably sometime in the future when there's less games to play right now. Best student game was a game called Combat 2018.
Oh, I want to play that.
No, did you see it? I don't know. Evan, you know what it is. It's a student game.
No. I'm saying I'm looking at the Messenger.
Oh, the Messenger. Yeah, it looks real cool. It's like
Can I get that on my Switch?
Felix, you absolutely can.
All right, cool. Thanks.
I'm happy to tell you this. Best multiplayer game. Can you guess which one that is?
Best multiplayer. That was Fortnite.
That was Fortnite. That was indeed Fortnite. Best sports game.
What? 2K?
No, it was Forza Horizon.
What?
I know. Isn't that weird?
I also call that category bullshit. Combining racing and sports games together. And very unfair. Yeah,
that's total.
They just needed a place for it, I guess. Yeah. But best strategy game.
I don't remember the people in that one.
I don't remember.
BattleTech, Frostpunk, Into the Breach, Banner Saga 3, or Valkyria Chronicles 4.
Why don't I remember that category being talked about?
Don't remember that.
Because I own Frostpunk. I played that a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen that game.
It's a really fucking bleak game.
I know, and it has like this like steampunk-esque nature to it, which is pretty sweet.
It's brutal.
What's Frostpunk again?
Frostpunk is a it's
city
like a
building survival game.
Almost. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you have to make decisions like, do I put the children to work because we don't have enough food, or do we cut everyone's rations to spread food out more evenly, and people are going to be weaker and not able to like collect enough resources? Like you have to make these like decisions as like the leader of this group, and then like people are going to hate you for certain decisions.
You will suffer consequences.
I mean, it's not really your kind of game of like gameplay wise, Felix, but you would love it thematically. I think.
No, but I play like Sim City and like City Skylines.
Oh, if you do like that, then yeah. Imagine like taking the thematic elements of like This War of Mine, and like putting them into a game like City Skylines, kind of on rails, because you're not like really freedomly building this place. You're building it kind of like
you're
on
building
spokes,
it like a circle,
on spokes around like a central furnace that like keeps everyone warm in this like northern icy area. It's pretty wild.
Can I get that on my Switch?
No,
not.
that's a PC game, I think.
It is. I
PC
think it's PC only. Yeah.
You'll be able to play it soon, Felix.
Because it's coming to the Switch.
Every I don't know.
No, because it's coming on a PC, and you're getting a PC, right?
Oh yeah, maybe.
The winner of that was Into the Breach, which is actually on Switch, so you can play that on Switch.
You can play the winner on Switch,
which is a cool game. It's made by the people who did FTL.
FTL is pretty popular. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great game. Best fighting game: BlazBlue, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Soul Calibur 6, or Street Fighter 5. And the winner of that,
Street Fighter 5.
Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Oh, that's
Best role-playing game choices were Dragon Quest XI, Monster Hunter World, Ni no Kuni 2, Octopath, Pillars of Eternity 2.
Was it Ni no Kuni?
It's not. It was Monster Hunter World.
I mean,
I know, right?
That was a great game, but I don't consider that a traditional RPG.
That had a lot of buzz from that.
Wow.
A lot of buzz.
Wow.
I'm going to jump back real quick to Content Creator of the Year. Can you guess who that was? You want me to read you the choices?
Well, it was probably Ninja.
It was Ninja.
Yeah.
It was
Can we just
just skip that one? Yep.
Yeah. Call it and move on.
Now these next categories are always confusing to me, but best action adventure game.
There's a lot of overlap and like
a lot
opinion as to what game is what, and they just put them in these different fucking.
I said God
sections.
of War for them.
You said God of War?
Yeah.
So the choices were Assassin's Creed, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Red Dead, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And God of War took it.
Yep.
So good call there, Felix. Yeah, very much so.
Great
Read
action.
it, boy.
Good.
More. Yeah, and they actually came on stage and they had a really nice moment. Teal'c from Stargate,
Christopher Judge.
Christopher Judge, and he was wearing this baller suit. It had like a bunch of faces on it. It was awesome, and he had like I'm used to him without hair. You know what I mean? Because I've watched 10 seasons of Stargate, and he's like this bald guy with a tattoo on his forehead.
Love Stargate.
He had like full like a head of hair with dreads, and I was like, damn, Chris Judge, you still looking good, man.
That's not
after
Teal'c.
all this time.
Yeah,
that is not Teal'c for sure. Best action game. So your choices were Call of Duty, Dead Cells, Destiny, Far Cry 5, and Mega Man.
Yeah, I said Dead Cells.
I mean, I wanted Destiny, but I'd say it would either be like an actuality of winning. Dead Cells got a lot of pop.
Well, Dead Cells won, so it's a good game. Dead Cells is a fun ass game.
Damn right.
A fun ass game.
Fun ass game.
Maybe this messenger game's.
Make sure you put the emphasis on the right part of that.
I'll tell you one thing about the messenger.
Ass game.
Fun ass game. The messenger controls like an NES game for a lot of it. Just saying, like an old style game like that.
Yeah, that's why I'm excited.
Best VR AR game. I'm just gonna tell you this one. It was Astrobot Rescue Mission.
Yeah, I didn't know any of those titles.
Yeah, Beat Saber. I know. I talked about that.
I mentioned that's what I picked. I picked Beat Saber.
That is literally
because that's the only one I heard of because of Neo.
Yeah, Neo talked about it, so I'm gonna pick Beat Saber.
Oh, it's so fucking good. It's like DDR and VR, and I love. It is literally a reason for me to get VR in some point in the future. Just I want
to play Tetris. What do they call it? Tetris Effect in
Tetris
VR.
Effect,
I hear it's amazing in VR.
Yeah, I hear it's mind-blowing just to play that game in VR. Best mobile game was Florence. Best independent game, which I'm gonna read these out. The choices were Celeste, Dead Cells, Into the Breach, The Return of the Obra Dinn, and The Messenger.
Dead Cells win it again?
No, it was Celeste. And let me tell you guys, I played this game earlier in the year, and I still want to do like a write-up on it because it is a fantastic game.
I've heard amazing things about Celeste.
And
the only thing I heard, other than what Neo said periodically, was from Snacks, who didn't like it.
Oh my God, Snacks! Why are you trying to make me hate you? Why are you trying to make me hate you? You diss
I
Spider-Man,
think-
you diss Celeste.
Don't quote me on that, but I think
I'm gonna
Snacks-
quote you. I'm gonna tell him right now. But no, Celeste is fantastic. It is a very difficult game. There's 2 mechanics. You can teleport and you can wall climb and wall jump. That's it. And then you're just scaling this mountain. And there's a story being told. The music is gorgeous. This gorgeous like chiptune soundtrack that I play on repeat on Spotify now because it's just good background music.
Indie games
It's
are
amazing.
are popping off right now.
They're gems, man. There
There's
are
a
so
lot
many.
of
Which
really good options out there.
I thank the Switch for bringing me closer to these games.
I'm gonna digress for
because-
1 second. Have you guys
Go
seen
ahead.
a trailer for Grease? GRIS, like the word gray in
Yes, I
Spanish.
have.
That game
Holy
looks
shit,
amazing.
that art style.
Yeah.
That art style is insane looking.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's just the color palette and
It
the
looks
way it's
like
painted.
it looks like it would have like an emotional effect like Journey on the
yeah.
PlayStation had. And like, dude, Stardew Valley is the indie game that keeps on giving. Literally today, 11 hours ago, they dropped their patch for the Switch where it enables multiplayer.
Multiplayer.
Like,
dude, I was
dude.
going to add that to the news, and I was like, I'll just bring it up. I'll just side bring it up, because I know you like that game.
I still play it. It's
Sure.
like my I'm laying in bed falling asleep game.
Sleep game.
GRIS.
Yeah,
Grease. Yeah.
Grease.
GRIS.
Yeah,
Gris in French. I don't think you pronounce the S. is
you do
gris.
you do in Spanish.
That also leads me
Grease.
into
Unless it's Spanish.
the next
Yeah.
category, which is games for impact. And last year, if you remember,
Was that Hellblade?
Senua Hellblade, yeah. Senua Sacrifice won last year, deservedly so. This year, Celeste also took it, so
Okay.
it won 2 categories. Yeah, games for impact.
So
'Cause
it
there
does
is
exist in that category of like an impactful playing experience.
the story. I'll tell you the story in Celeste. Like you don't see it coming, but like it becomes very deep and very an interpersonal story as you play it.
Yeah.
It's a great game. I want to replay it, and there is a whole other half of the game I haven't even touched yet because it's just really difficult challenges, and the game is so fucking hard. So
Can I get that on my Switch?
yeah, that's how I played it. I played it on Switch. Yeah, you sure can,
Oh,
dude.
cool.
can. Dude, the night of the Game Awards, every game nominated went
on
on
sale.
sale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it was
saw
on sale.
Oh
so,
shit, that's really cool.
yeah. Best performance. Now I'm gonna read these all out.
Okay.
Brian Deckard is Connor in Detroit. Christopher Judge is Kratos in God of War. Cassandra's voice actress from Assassin's Creed. Melisanti Mahout is what I want to say. Roger Clark is Arthur Morgan in Red Dead, and Yuri Lowenthal is Peter Parker.
Oof, that's a
It's
tough,
tough.
category. I would hope
I think
Red
I
Dead
said
did it.
I said the Arthur Morgan guy.
Yeah, Red
Arthur
Dead.
Morgan won.
Did he?
Roger Clark won.
Dude,
Yep, he sure
the
did.
voices, the inflection, the passion, and every single person in Red Dead that I hear talking is like out of
his
control.
small moments when he sounded like he went off script and
Oh,
said
the-
like these things under his
Yeah.
breath about the people
Yeah.
that he was interacting with, where it really sounded like it wasn't something that had
No,
been
you're
formulated
just
in
you're
the
hearing
script.
that you happen to be controlling this character, but he has his own brain and his own comments, and you're just like, oh, this guy is just talking about that fucking whack job that we just interacted
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
so good.
It's so good.
I mean, I can't disagree with that winner. I mean, anyone up here, I think is great.
Yeah.
But he did blow it away. The next is best audio design. Now let's see. We got Call of Duty, Forza Horizon, God of War, Spider-Man, or Red Dead.
Red Dead?
It's Red Dead. It's Red Dead, baby.
All those birds and
You're not that's
rustling
not the
grass
sound-
and
that's not the-
insects and music.
That's
and
not the soundtrack category though.
No,
No,
sound
that is
design.
audio design. That's sound design.
Everything
said
from-
I said Red Dead for that.
from the
Yeah.
wind to the sound of your guns reloading to the horse
Oh yeah,
galloping, all
just
that shit.
directional audio, all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
Yep.
Soundtrack is definitely different.
The next category is best score in music. So that's your soundtrack.
I said God of War.
You say God of War. So the choices were Celeste, again in there,
Mhm.
God of War, Spider-Man, Ni no Kuni, Octopath Traveler, and Red Dead.
Ooh, shit. I don't
Now,
know.
God of War is great, but can you hum me a tune from God of War?
I can't hum you
I
two
can't
from
either.
any of them.
I can do Spider-Man. Spider-Man I can do. But
Did Spider-Man win?
No, it was Red Dead.
Red Dead again.
I don't understand that.
Usually
it's not memorable to me.
Yeah, usually like when I'll judge a soundtrack if I'm like still if like the music sticks with me a little bit past that.
Yeah, I mean God of War sent me to download it. Like,
oh hell yeah,
playing it.
Like Spider-Man's I thought was great, and Celeste I'm still listening to. Like I was listening to it yesterday, and it's just so good.
Like Red Dead has good music. It has cinematic music for sure, but I would imagine that as a full soundtrack, another winner might be better. But you know, who knows? Who knows what goes on in the minds of the voters?
Yeah, for sure. And apparently, the way voting works in the Game Awards, apparently, the user votes, like public votes, count as like 1/60th of the total vote.
Oh,
if that makes sense. So most votes,
the full amount of what everyone voted for in the public, that's all a 60th.
And because the rest are different outlets and different media sources and different other.
I mean, is each source
things of that nature
a 60th? Because that's the only way that's fair involving the public. I don't think so.
I pulled that number out of my ass, but what I'm trying to say, the public vote is a fraction of the total vote.
Got it.
I probably shouldn't have just pulled that number out of my ass, but
I get really hung up on the specifics. I'm like, what? 60th? I mean, and the point still holds true. I would hope that like you can count the public as like an organization, and then like I would hope that like. I don't know who votes for these things, but imagine what does like GameStop have, like not GameStop, but GameSpot, like IGN, do they have like like things like that?
Right, and all of these media sources that like, and a lot of like big YouTube companies, like I want to say like the Game Grumps, no, not Game Grumps. Who's the other guys that are really good? The Game Trailers guys that aren't Game Trailers anymore.
Don't know.
I'm sorry. And even kind of funny, they were all asked to do things like pull out the list of games and then vote for the games that they want, and then they were all considered in the running as well. So
yeah,
among all the journalism places,
sure.
You know,
I would just hope that like one of those equals the public. The public can get to one idea.
One of them does
IGN
equal the public.
Can get to that. Okay, cool. As long as it's
one
like,
of them does equal the public,
fair.
because on the website everyone could vote. So
I thought you were saying like the public's whole thing is 1/60th, and everyone else is like, oh, this is a third, a quarter, or something, and like, haha, fuck you for.
But yes,
having an
but
opinion.
what I'm saying is, the public counts as one outlet.
Right.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. All right. Best art direction. We got Assassin's Creed, God of War, Octopath, and Red Dead, and Return of the Obra Dinn.
Red Dead.
It was Return of the Obra Dinn.
Oh.
Yeah. So you have to look that game up because the art style is very unique. It's got like a sepia kind of old schoolish look. And it's a mystery gun. The Obra Dinn. Return of the Obra Dinn. It's a mystery game. So you're an insurance auditor in that game, and this ship pulls into port.
That definitely wins.
That looks cool, right? The ship pulls into port, and you are essentially you and a notebook are just trying to. It's like what's that space game that you played? Trip that I really wanted to try too. Is the empty space station, and you're just piecing together things that happened.
That was Tacoma.
I know, it's Tacoma.
Yeah.
It's like Tacoma, except you're like this old timey insurance auditor, and you're on this ship.
Yeah, no shit. This game won best art design.
Yeah.
It
looks crazy. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it also looks like it's a game that would be on like
Switch.
No, like an old Windows or like an old PC.
Yeah, I know, it's got this like old timey look to it. Like,
is that what you said? Essentially, did you give us a machine that I just didn't recognize? Like you called it an Amiga?
I said Amiga. I said an Amiga, or
wow,
some old ass
crazy looking.
Yeah, it's fun.
Some of these pictures look like they processed it on a Game Boy camera or something. But like I like that vibe. I like it a lot.
All right, so now we got best narrative: Detroit Become Human, God of War, Life is Strange, Marvel's Spider-Man, or Red Dead.
What was it? What was the subject?
Best narrative.
It's either God of War or Red Dead.
I said Spider-Man.
It's Red Dead. Red Dead sweeping the charts here.
Yeah, cleaning up, man.
No. All right, we got three more.
Not
Best game direction. A Way Out, Detroit Become Human, God of War, Spider-Man, or Red Dead.
Red Dead.
Felix, what do you think?
I think I said Red Dead for that because it was
Well, guess what, you guys? It's
Red
God
Dead
of War.
Oh, God of War?
All the
Oh yeah,
So, what was the last
What?
category again?
narrative.
Mm.
This was direction. So when
Oh,
I
man.
think of direction, I think about. Do you remember when God of War came out and people were talking about its use of its one cut camera?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good point.
It did this thing where it never pulled away from you, and like even in the cutscenes,
See, I would put that more under art direction.
see art direction. I would consider more of like how the game looks and feels, and how they designed like the like choosing color palette and designs of the characters.
The camera
and
is literally the
enemies.
window through how you view the game. That's how the game
But-
looks.
But wouldn't you consider that more of a direction because it's like you are the person controlling the rig, the camera rig,
I totally get what you're saying, and it's not
which
a
is
bad
what a
point.
direct,
It's
which is what
it's
a
a valid
director would
point.
do. You know?
Yeah, but another facet of what a director would do on a movie, and where I'm basing my like opinion of this, is you've got to make sure that all of the machines that are running to get that product together are working and doing their things. And Red Dead had so many different like systems and areas and things happening in the game at the same time that to me required direction of a higher caliber than anything that was on the list previously.
Oh, you're just saying Red Dead. This is something that Red Dead probably should have taken.
I think so. More so than other categories Red Dead won.
I mean, I take the term direction, and I literally, when I apply it, I think of what a director really is. in terms of, like-
Honestly, that's how I feel too.
but what a director is. Well, what I was going to say is
Yeah.
motion pictures, right? But I don't know if that applies to video games because direction with motion pictures are great coordinators who can basically make many teams of people produce their vision,
right.
and they do it. They do it well. They coordinate those people well.
Yeah,
to produce their vision
that's
well.
a more articulate way of my point that I was.
But-
that I was
and-
saying.
But is that the same for video games?
Well, with games, there's an added factor in that, which is the player. So the player is also taking on a director role as he's playing. This is just my opinion.
No, you're totally right because you choose
so-
what you look at and what you interact with.
The game director is going, okay, I'm setting up all these pieces for the player, right? I'm doing all these things, I'm putting all these things in motion, but it's up to the player to discover them. And if I can do it in a way that works so that I can point the player in the things that I want to look at and I want them to look at, that to me is successful game direction.
See,
So
that to me
how-
falls under game design. Like, how do I pull a player's attention?
But you're also, remember, that other category was art direction, or are you thinking of narrative? Is that what you were thinking of?
No, I'm thinking of direction. Art direction would be like, to me, like literally concept art or how things.
Yeah.
What's the again, like you said, the color palette? How are we presenting this game visually?
Visually.
That's all art direction to me.
Right. Well, you still got 2 more categories left, and the next one is ongoing game. Best ongoing game. We got Destiny 2,
Fall
Fortnite.
76.
Yeah, shut up. Get out of here with that shit. Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Overwatch, and Rainbow Six.
Destiny 2.
No Man's Sky was a big surprise for me to see on here,
Yeah, honestly. Redemption
for sure.
Destiny 2. It probably won't be.
It was Fortnite.
Get the
Jesus
fuck
Christ.
out of here.
Big surprise. I know everyone fucking hates Fortnite, but no one. But
I
not
don't
really,
hate
because
Fortnite, but that's-
everyone's playing it.
Like, the only definition of that being an ongoing game is the fact that it's a game that exists online and is still existing
Popular.
online.
It's still
Like,
still not.
It's the amount
the
of
train isn't
things that
stopping.
even other games on that list like implement and can continue and service for the players. It just far exceeds Fortnite, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure. Last category, y'all. Game of the year. Choices were Assassin's Creed, Celeste. Also pointing out it's in the running there. God of War, Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and Red Dead.
I know the answer to this.
So you already know.
I know
Felix,
the
do you
answer to
know
this
the
one.
answer?
What to what?
Oh, Jesus. Game of the
No.
year.
No, right.
Do you want me to
Okay.
read them again?
No, you don't have to. I know what I picked.
What'd you pick?
Assassin's Creed.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that makes sense for you.
Yeah.
It was
What do you-
God
what-
of War.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what do you think won though? After all,
What do you
that?
think won? Oh,
Oh,
I already said it, so I ruined it. But
no, that's fine. You didn't ruin it. God of War won.
I ruined it.
I love that game.
You ruined it.
I know. I love it too. It was really nice. And actually, I didn't mention here before, but this when best game direction, Cory Barlog got on stage because he won God of War's best game direction.
Mm-hmm.
He made a really great speech, and man, let me tell you, that guy has a fan now in me because he is a gem of a human being. Yeah, he's a real cool dude. And I look forward to seeing his work in the future. I can't wait. But that's it. That was the game of the Game of the Year awards.
Nice.
Now we just plowed through those. I hope in a fashion.
No.
How are we on time right now?
We're approaching an hour and a half.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're 124.
I'm probably gonna have to wrap up soon.
Wrap up soon. Can I go quickly through the things that were announced at the Game Awards? Is that okay?
Yeah, you want to just like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do
bullet them
some. And I'll stop at like the big highlights. Okay.
Okay.
There was a bunch of game announcements. Let's see. Where do I start? Okay. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is coming back as a Switch exclusive. So it's if you guys remember these games,
Yeah.
top-down action like brawler games, you can play as every Marvel character.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's coming back.
Damn, dude, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. There's a new Far Cry game coming out, Felix.
I know.
Far Cry New Dawn was shown off there for the first time. It takes place right after, or like 20 years after Far Cry 5, the events of Far Cry 5, something like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the post-apocalyptic narrative
with Far Cry.
With Far Cry. So I don't know.
How do you feel about that?
Well, it's just we're reaching a point of saturation. We're gonna have what? Raid 2, not Raid 2.
Rage 2.
Rage 2.
Just had Fallout 76.
Far Cry, Fallout 76. That new game that's coming out that looked really cool.
Doom 2 is coming soon.
No. The one that you haven't talked about that was also announced.
The Outer Worlds.
The Outer Worlds. Like
Yeah, that's on here too.
it's a hell of a lot of a saturation for dystopia.
So the Outer Worlds
true.
stood out to me because it's what Obsidian, the guys who did Fallout New Vegas, and a lot of the original creators of the original Fallout games. So those guys are all working on this, and they're doing a full-blown space cowboy narrative. Very much, it looks like Firefly, Cowboy Bebop, and Fallout had a baby.
Yeah,
And
it looks great.
It
Yeah.
does
Sprinkle
look.
a little Bioshock.
It looks
sprinkle a
really,
little Bioshock.
really
in there.
exciting, honestly.
Sounds good to me. I'm all about it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really cool. They announced Crash Team Racing Remastered,
Damn.
so that's coming back.
We saw them on the rumors.
Yes. There was a new Anthem trailer. It was a story-based trailer. Let's see. Hades, which is from the creators of Transistor and Bastion. You guys remember those games?
Yeah, totally. Yep.
So they have a new game called Hades coming out, and it's a lot of this very similar nature style of game.
Good music in those games too. I played a little bit of of Transistor.
Bastion's killer, man. I love that soundtrack. Hello Games, the creators of No Man's Sky, have a little side project called The Last Campfire.
Oh.
So they have another game coming out, which is it was honestly I was a little surprised when I saw them on stage.
Is that furthering the post-apocalyptic dystopian narrative as well?
No, it looks like a cute little mini game. Apparently, 2 people in the studio worked on this. Is from what Sean Murray said.
Cool.
They announced PUBG for PS4 and the new Snow map, which went live on the test servers that night.
Wow, dude. PS4 PUBG. That's a big
PS4
one.
PUBG.
That's a big one.
They teased Dragon Age, the new Dragon Age game. Yep.
Ooh, I should go up there and play Inquisition.
You're not gonna. But no,
Damn,
you should, I guess, because they're cool games.
Let's see it on the shelf.
A game called Ashen, which looks like a kind of like a cell shaded Dark Souls kinda. It's in the same style as that, is what it looks like. You have to go check these trailers out.
Okay.
Stranger Things 3, which is like it's apparently it's all the events of season 3 coming up, but it's like a pixel, kind of an old style pixel story game.
They
Looks
had a
like
game that came out for.
Did you say Stranger Things?
I did say,
Stranger Things, yeah.
it's that Stranger Things, the one from the Netflix show. Yes.
They're making a game out of that?
They're making a game out of it.
There's
Season
already
3.
a game that exists that you can download on your mobile devices, on iOS and on Android. It's like a top-down pixel, probably
I'm
similar to this.
Super confused. So you're saying they played a trailer for a game, Stranger Things 3?
That is correct.
Yes.
Did they have a 1 and 2 in game form?
No.
What?
The game is literally based off of the season 3 events, which season 3 is not out yet. So this game is going to come out.
No, maybe because it's
It's a season tie-in. Is essentially
well,
what
that's
it
what I'm
is.
saying. It takes place in 1985, so the Nintendo released in 1985. So more than likely, there's going to be a video game motif in the show.
Probably.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
I got it.
Psychonauts 2 had their first trailer. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Kombat 11 was officially announced with a brutally
Kombat.
violent trailer.
I didn't watch the
Just
trailer.
little-
I would kind of want to. I might go back and watch that.
I want to let you know that
I got links for you.
I'm incredibly excited about that game.
Oh hell yeah!
Mortal Kombat
It
11?
looks cool.
Yeah, and it's because they're going to be incorporating the word is that they're going to be incorporating the RPG grind that's in Injustice 2.
Oh, got it. That's
Drops,
certainly
all that
up your alley for sure.
Yeah, eardrops and all that shit.
Now I am skipping over a lot of this stuff, but they did show off a new Devil May Cry 5 trailer.
Okay.
Pretty sweet. The game looks fucking bonkers, and I love that.
Devil May Cry is always pretty cool.
They also had this live concert
Mm-hmm.
of the theme of the game, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of dig it. Fucking been playing that song.
Oh, the song.
called-
Yeah.
The song's called Devil Trigger. It's available on YouTube. You can check it out. It's pretty slamming. It's pretty slamming jam.
Devil Trigger.
Other than that, they
Metal
surprised us
Gear.
with an announcement of Joker from Persona 5
Mhm.
being the first DLC Smash.
That's the character you play as, Felix. That's you, the protagonist. That's your alter ego when you go into the shadow world.
Mm-hmm.
In what?
Persona 5.
Persona 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
Other than that, they had a bunch of other announcements like Stanley Parable's coming back with new stuff, which is like an old. That's like a
Stanley
10-year-old
Parable, dude.
Stanley Parable.
I've been
That's
told.
What new stuff? New paths, new alternate
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Holy shit!
It's called
dude.
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Fucking what, dude? I love Stanley Parable. What a mind! That
Dude,
game is a mind
there's
fuck.
an achievement. There's
Yeah.
an achievement in that game where you don't play it for like 5 years or whatever, and then you come back,
Yeah.
and then you get. It's like, oh, you've just decided. It's like you decided to come back achievement. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I've been told by Peanut on numerous occasions that he wants to see me stream that.
Stanley Parable is
Dude, you would.
just
I
to
think you
give
would
you
like
a little quick breakdown, Felix. I know we're running pretty late right now.
Yeah.
It's like it's a first person, very lo-fi game. Like it's 3D, right? And it's like a rendered office environment.
It's in the Portal engine.
Right.
Yeah.
Imagine how Portal looks. It looks like a Portal. You're playing an office person who walks out of his office one day and no one is there, and you have to figure out why no one is there.
Oh, that's great.
And almost every decision you make leads you down a different path. And the fun of this game is getting to the end of a path and starting over and being like, okay, what can I do now?
Cool. Yeah, it sounds really good.
And it's being narrated in a very like being John
Real-
Malkovich kind of
real-time way.
Like
Yeah.
it's pretty mindfucky. It's awesome.
It's very mindfucking. I love it. I have it on Steam. It's amazing. Well, that's about it for the Game Awards, y'all.
That's it, and that's all.
That's it. A lot of stuff
we did
happened,
go a long one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but it was a good one though. It was a good one.
It was
you
a
guys.
good conversations.
Yeah.
Great conversations. Great talks. You know.
Yeah, and on the link that I provided you guys in our doc with all of these trailers, all the trailers are there on one page, so you can check them all out. It's on. This is Polygon's website I'm on.
Okay.
And at the very end is Sonic Fox's speech. If you guys want to watch that.
Okay. Oh,
So
very-
his
yeah,
whole
yeah.
sp-
I did
his
want to
whole
check that
speech
out
is on.
for sure.
But that's it. It's a lot of cool announcements for a game award show, and
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it. It's grown since its Schick Razor days. Schick man. Do you remember that?
I
That
don't.
fucking Razor dude.
That's
I
when it was on
don't
what?
know.
Did
No,
it
no,
get
this
sta-
was-
Did it get started on G4 or Spike TV?
It got started on Spike TV. Jeff Keighley was still doing it, but ever since it went in, he went independent with it like 4 or 5 years ago. I want to say
Yeah, it became a real show.
it became a real show, but understandably he had to get a lot of advertising to get the show working.
Well, yeah, to raise the money and shit.
To raise the money. And one of the stunts that he had was Schick Razor Man, and it was this dude dressed like a Schick Razor.
Oh my god.
And he was like, he just showed up periodically, being like, "I'm Schick Razor Man," and it was ridiculous.
That's
but
pretty.
It's
ridiculous.
come a long way. It's a very professional show. He takes it very seriously, and he likes. Dude, the show opened up with Reggie Fils-Aimé, Phil Spencer, and oh my god, who's the Sony guy? Fuck.
Not Andrew House. He changed his job, didn't he?
Not Andrew House. No, it's shit. I can't remember him. But one of the heads of PlayStation. They all came out on stage together to share their love of video games, and they were like, "This is why we're here, because we all love to come together." And it was like a really cool moment that all three of them were on stage together.
It's definitely a long way to come for a show like that, for sure.
Yeah, and honestly, to me, this says console wars are coming to an end, baby. That's what it says to me.
Hopefully. That's a big statement to make, but hopefully.
It is a big statement to make because PC trounces everything. So it's, I'm just kidding. As a joke. It's a joke.
Just some PC Master Race jokes.
Just some Master Race jokes for you. Anyway, well, that's it, you guys.
Nice. Very nice.
Crossplay's coming. Don't you guys worry. It's coming. I feel it.
The hot takes.
Yeah.
Cool.
But anyway, shall we close it out, or you guys got anything else to say?
No, dude, I'm good. I'm set.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been Neo Ayoshi. You can find me at Twitter at Neo_Yoshi and at twitch.tv/NeoAyoshi. Hit me up on Twitter. I want to play some Smash Brothers. I want to do like a Smash Brothers stream. Hop in our Discord at discord.theemergentgamer.com. Pretty easy to get in there. Easiest way to communicate and play some games with us.
Our Discord is popping with Smash right now.
It's popping. Theemergentgamer.com for all of your podcasts and if you want to read any of the things that I write. And
Neo's been writing, so get on there and read his opinions about things and stuff.
I'm thinking about going back and writing for Celeste. I thought about this a little bit ago, but I want to probably do Detroit next. Now I'm saying it live because now I have to hold myself to this.
You have to.
And I got to do it now, so there's that.
You don't have to. I did that with my stream schedule for months, and I didn't stick to that.
Oh, you mean like playing all Metal Gear, huh? That's going good.
I'm not even talking about the game, just like the times of the day that I said I would stream, and you know how
for sure. All right, hit it, guys.
I am Trip0. You can find me on Mixer. I'm a Mixer broadcaster. Mixer.com/Trip0TV. That's the same for all of my socials. So besides Mixer, Twitter's probably the best place to follow me. It's twitter.com/Trip0TV. But like Instagram, all that shit, YouTube, it's actually I can't do it on YouTube because I need 100 subscribers. But you get the idea. Trip0TV, very easy to find. And I broadcast weekdays at this point. But again, Twitter is the best place to know when I'm streaming. Haha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same here. This is Felix Hergood. Felix Hergood on Twitter. Felix Hergood on Twitch. Felix Hergood on Mixer. I do a Mitch chat. Me combined with a big group of Mixer people and a group of Twitch people just having fun. Come on in, check it out. Right now I'm doing Battlefield 5 week. Next week I'm probably going to be back on Assassin's Creed, or might go back into my rotation. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe I'll do a whole week of Ghost Recon.
Oh my god.
Let's do a whole week of Ghost Recon.
Look, you're an adult. You can do whatever you want, but I won't be there for that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right, dudes. Nice. Good stuff. Everyone out there, see you next week.
See ya.
It took me 40 years to realize that my my resting face is a frown.
You have resting bitch face.
No, resting frown face. Why did you guys tell me?
I didn't know that was my responsibility. You see,
it's your face, man. I'm not.
I look in the mirror every day.
Like, hey, did you know your face sucks? Like, what am I supposed to say?
The other day, I looked at my face and I went, "Wow, you're just resting. Your face is resting. You're not upset.
RBF.
You have a frown. This is bad.
All right.
It means I struggle to smile, guys.
You're doing a great job right now. let me tell you, you're doing great.